All right. Good Wednesday evening. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to everyone. The Irish Hammer here alongside JoshyBoy. Josh, my friend, how the hell are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Hammer?
Man, if I was any better, there'd have to be two of me. Um, Long weekend ahead.
Yeah,
Expecting the, the three F's tomorrow. That's food, football, and I guess family. I guess we have to throw that in there, right? It's kind of
yeah,
how it
definitely.
works. Yeah. So I always hate when we are simulcasting with Tennessee athletics, especially basketball, but couldn't push the show to tomorrow, obviously, and there's way too much on the plate for Thursday to let this skate by. So, going to try to keep an eye on the game as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in on this Wednesday. Um, it's the final big week of college football with rivalry week. Of course, we will have the Army Navy game yet to go, and then of course we have conference championship week that will lead us into bowl season and eventually the college football playoff. So don't know exactly how that's going to look. I'm sure Josh and I will continue on with picks and best bets and things like that throughout. If you're good with that, Josh.
Yeah, I am.
So probably continue to do that and may shift. We may shift a little bit more on NFL, especially as those division races start tightening up and going into what I think there's about 5 more weeks, maybe 6 more weeks of the NFL schedule, and then
Yep.
they'll be in playoffs. So we'll go right out of bowl season, college football playoff, into the heart of the division races being closed up, playoff seeding starting to take shape. So still plenty of football, but this will be our last big college football show. Um, and it's hard to believe, man, we are 14 weeks removed now from the first time we got together
Yep.
and started doing this. So it's been a blast. Um, Hopefully everybody's at least enjoyed it and, hopefully taken a few plays, made a little bit of money, and we haven't totally derailed your bankroll. Although these last couple of weeks have been kind of tough, and it always happens that way. The deeper into the season you get, the more difficult it is really to kind of predict and project what's going to happen with injuries and rotations and things like that. So it's always tougher when you start getting later in the season. But hopefully we can still give you some stuff to at least think about, work with, and hopefully turn out some winners. So, Josh, amazingly, we have college football games tomorrow.
We do.
So, along with some NFL games. So, I don't recall having college games on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, I think this is kind of a new thing, but they certainly picked some good teams to be involved, as well as the traditional Detroit and Dallas getting their games on Thanksgiving in the NFL world. But what are you looking at for Thursday?
First game I'm looking at for Thursday, we are going to the NFL, and we are going to the first game, Packers and the Detroit Lions. Detroit favored by 2.5, and over under set at 48.5. I like the total in this game. I like the over 48.5 in this game. Both teams coming off short weeks. Both teams playing Sunday. Packers played the Vikings. Lions played the Giants. And I just like a lot of points in this game tomorrow. I think both teams exceed this total. And no major injuries for both teams. The only major injury I see right now is Jaden Reed for the Packers is going to be out, but that's the only major injury I see. But I like both teams to get up and down the field tomorrow, put some points on the board. So I like Packers lines over 48.5.
All right. Yeah. Josh Jacobs got removed from the injury report today. He was questionable.
Yeah,
So it should be full force for both of these teams, although Detroit's still a little banged up in their secondary, which I think also plays into making a case for the over.
yeah.
I've got to play on this game too. Since you brought it in, I'll go ahead and throw it out. I'm going Green Bay money line in this game. I know a lot of the data points to the Lions, but historically, the Lions are like 3-17 against the spread on Thanksgiving. Like, it's pretty remarkable how bad they play sometimes on Thanksgiving. And Detroit basically got their ass whipped week one by these same Packers. And one could argue that, well, Green Bay's not quite as stout as they were at the beginning of the season, especially on offense. Detroit has gotten a little bit better. Obviously Aiden Hutchinson back is kind of a big deal for them with their pass rush and defense overall. And they've really got the offense clicking, especially in the run game. Jahmyr Gibbs is, it's a shame that he won't be eligible to win an MVP, and he's probably not going to win Offensive Player of the Year. I think unless the wheels absolutely fall off Jonathan Taylor's wagon, I think that's locked up. But man, it's a shame that Gibbs can't really force his way into some of this postseason recognition because he's been nothing but dynamic. But I kind of like the trend, man, with Detroit not playing up to expectations on Thanksgiving. And I feel like that, this is a bitter, NFC North rivalry. I don't 3 points either way. Not enough value there. I'm just going to take the Packers money line based on history and the fact that I think Green Bay's got a little something figured out. Plus, they've added Micah Parsons since that first game to start the season. So I know that was a lot of flapping for me to say Packers money line, but there we go. So
I like it.
Good deal. What? Anything on this college game Thursday with Memphis and Navy?
I have one more playing NFL game for tomorrow,
Oh, sorry.
but
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'll get to the college game after my last play. So I'm going to be on the Cowboys in the second game against the Chiefs. We saw it Sunday. Kansas City kind of got lucky in the second half coming back because the Colts defense was worn down and everything. I just feel like this Chiefs team has gotten lucky a lot this year with their wins, and I just don't think this is a dominant Chiefs team from over the past years. And I feel like the Cowboys are going to stay in this game, and I think it's going to be a one possession game. So I like the Cowboys catching 3.5 at home. I even like it at 3+3, and I wouldn't be opposed to taking the Cowboys on the money line either. So I feel like the Cowboys score at home, and I feel like their defense can make some stops to make it a one possession game. So Cowboys plus 3.5.
All right. Well, I'm on the other side of this one. I have
Yeah.
I have the Chiefs -3. Not that I'm afraid of the hook. That's just where I got it.
Right.
Not to discourage you, Josh, but let me throw a stat to you.
Okay.
In indoor games, Patrick Mahomes is 13-1.
Pretty good record.
Dude does not lose inside of the
Yeah.
dome. And although this Dallas defense is definitely better than we expected to begin the season, I think it's steadily gotten better. They shut Philly out in the second half on Sunday, which, in fairness, that may speak as much to Philly's offense as it does Dallas's defense. Of course, the big major trade with Micah Parsons. They got Clark in exchange from Green Bay in that trade, who's really played well for them. And then they go out and get Quentin Williams. Excuse me. So that D line is definitely, has beefed up. Chiefs are getting Pacheco back, which I don't know. Other than I just love to watch him run the football. Like, he runs like he's pissed off at the ground, and I love it. So and Kareem Hunt's been more than adequate as a fill-in. Has really played well. And you're 100% right. I mean, I said this on a show back in July that, all those one possession or one score games the Chiefs won last year, they're not going to win all those this year.
Yeah.
And that's definitely been the case. But I think they get this one because I feel like Dallas, although their front seven is, we've got to say it's improved because Micah Parsons was on this team last year. And, they couldn't stop a nosebleed with a tampon. And that was with him on the field. So the D-line is definitely improved, but the secondary is still very susceptible. And Mahomes is still capable of working some magic, getting the ball downfield. All the receivers are healthy. Travis Kelce has shown a little bit sign of life in the recent weeks. And I just feel like Kansas City needs this game to continue to stay in playoff contention. So I'm going to take the Chiefs laying the points in Dallas, especially with Mahomes' record playing indoors. Anything on that third game, the Baltimore-Cincinnati game?
No play.
All right, I'll throw mine real quick. I'm taking the over. I got it at 51. I don't know where it's at now. I don't care where it's at now. It's still an over because
51 and a half.
Okay, because both these defenses are terrible. Ravens have improved a little over the past few weeks, but if Burrow's back, and I expect some ring rust, to pull a quote from the MMA world, but they're still dangerous. They get Jamar Chase back. Chase Brown has found a resurgence where he was just absolutely non-existent the first part of the season. They won't have T. Higgins, but I think they'll be able to generate enough offense against a pretty porous Baltimore defense. And let's not talk about Cincinnati's defense. My God, are they awful. So unless Joe Burrow is suiting up to play in the secondary or play on the edge to rush Lamar Jackson, it's not going to matter who's playing quarterback. Baltimore is going to lay some wood on the Bengals, and they're capable of trading blows with them. So give me the over 50, whatever. I don't care what it is. As long as it's not over like 55, 56, I'm playing the over on this game. And will be an awesome teaser play as well. All right. Well, that's everything NFL-wise on Thursday. So what about Memphis Navy, Josh? What are you looking at or liking in this one?
Yeah, I'll lean in this game. If I do end up playing something, I'll lean the over 57 and a half. Both defenses this season have been terrible, to say the least. And I think even if Blake Horvath plays or doesn't play for Navy, I feel like their offense can score against Memphis's defense. And I think Memphis's offense is going to score against Navy's defense because both defenses cannot stop a nosebleed. So I'll lean over 57 and a half in this one, and I feel like we'll get a lot of fireworks in this game. So over 57 and a half in Navy Memphis.
Yeah, I'm with you on over. I'm playing this just kind of tradition. We started the year out playing this prop. Luce and I did. So I figure I've got to close the season with it.
Yeah.
Give me over 28.5 in the first half with Memphis and Navy. And then also I like Memphis to cover the number. I got -4. I think it opened actually a little higher than that. It's been bought down, but I just don't see – this is not a good matchup for Navy. And, you talked about the defenses, and Memphis has been a little susceptible. They really got shellacked in a couple games, but still on the season, they're ranked 30th in rush defense. And we all know that's pretty much Navy's bread and butter. And Memphis is only allowing about 22 points a game, even with a couple of those big numbers they gave up. But Navy gives up 31 points a game. In their last 6 games, they've given up 31 or more points. And in Memphis's last 4, they've scored more than 32 in 3 of those. So I feel like Memphis is going to give Navy all kinds of problems. I don't see Navy just running the ball at will against this Memphis front 7. So I do agree. I think there's going to be a lot of points. I think Memphis jumps on them early like they've done everybody this season. And then I think they close this game out by probably 7 to 10 points. So I'm taking over first half, 28.5, and also Memphis to cover -4, -4.5, wherever it is. As long as it's under a touchdown, I think Memphis is the play.
I like it.
All right. What was the total that you got? I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
57.5.
Okay. All right. So big slate on Friday. This is actually
Yep.
there's some really good games in this Friday afternoon slate.
Yeah.
So what are you looking at to start us off with for Friday?
We'll lead off with the first game that's on the DraftKings Sportsbook. We're going to the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. The big question, I guess, is Lane Kiffin going to stay or if he's going to go. So I like Mississippi State in this game, catching 7 at home against Ole Miss. And with all of Mississippi State's games at home this year, besides Georgia, they played teams really close to a one-possession game. And I just feel like Mississippi State is going to be in this game at the end with a chance to win it. And I just feel like Mississippi State is going to cover this one. And if Ole Miss is not ready to play Friday, they may lose this game. So I played Mississippi State plus the 7 against Ole Miss.
Exactly the same. I took Mississippi State plus 7 over Ole Miss. I feel like there's just way too many distractions, regardless of what Lane does. This has absolutely disrupted the entire program, locker room, and they can say whatever they want to say. We're focused on Mississippi State, rivalry game, Egg Bowl. Bull. You can't have this type of chatter and media coverage. It's all over social media, and you know damn good and well that all these players are all over social media all the time. There's no way that this hasn't impacted and affected them. And the fact that the game is in Starkville also, I feel, is just another point for Mississippi State in this. And I feel like, just like you said, they've been in virtually every game all season. They took us to overtime. They've played tough. Tennessee's up 10 right now, by the way. 15 minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, they took Texas to overtime.
Yep. So,
yep.
They've done well against everybody not named Georgia this year. And I think they're better than what their record shows. So,
yeah.
I just feel like that for no other reason, Mississippi State's going to show up ready to play for pride, and Ole Miss is going to show up because they have to, and they would much rather just rip the Band-Aid off. Lane, what are you going to do? And, I know potentially the college football playoff is on the line here, but there's just too many outside noises for me, man. I can't back Ole Miss in this spot. Not to mention that Ole Miss struggled. I know this was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but it sticks in my craw because I had this game, Ole Miss -10. They only beat Kentucky by 7 in Lexington.
Yeah,
And
I remember that one.
Yeah. So they have the potential to lay an egg, if you will, on the road. So, yeah, love Miss State in this spot. And, honestly, quite frankly, I would just love to see them win this game for the chaos factor. I love chaos this time of year. So, in agreement on that one. Also, Friday, I'm going to Buffalo, New York. The Ohio Bobcats and the Buffalo Bulls are going to get together. I like the total in this game. It's 44.5. I like the under. It's going to be cold. It's going to snow pretty much, I think, all day tomorrow and possibly into Friday leading up into the game. But the big thing is they're expecting 20-plus mile-an-hour winds. And that has a huge impact on the passing game, certainly the kicking game. So expect there to be a lot of rush offense in this game. It's going to eat clock. It's going to limit possessions. And Ohio has the 23rd ranked rushing offense in the nation. That's right. Little old Ohio from the MAC is number 23 in the nation in rushing offense. Buffalo is the 41st ranked rushing defense in the nation. So we got good on good in the run game. Buffalo's god awful on offense, especially running the ball. So I feel like the points are going to be at a premium. The weather factor is not to be ignored. And I just don't see this game getting out of the 30s, quite frankly. It may get to 40, 42 points. I don't see this getting 45. So Ohio Buffalo under 44.5 on Friday in upstate New York. All right, Josh, what's next on your dance card?
Yeah, we are going to Lincoln, Nebraska Friday. Two teams playing, Iowa versus Nebraska. The spread is -6 in this one. Iowa favored. I like the total in this game. So I played under 35, or not 35.5 in this one, 39.5 in this one between Iowa and Nebraska. And the past few years these two teams have met, the spread has gone under. In 2023, final score was 13-10, and last year the score was 13-10. So I played under 39.5 in this one. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring. I feel like it's going to be a lot of punts in this game, and if you like defense, then this is your game to watch. So I played Iowa, Nebraska under 39.5.
Yeah, not an official play for me, but I do have this in a teaser, teased up to 45.5 under. So definitely like under in this game. Historically, that's been the case. And for all the explosive offense we saw out of Iowa the first half of the season, that seems to have dissipated greatly over the last few weeks. So I expect more of the same, especially on the road, playing not a great defense, but certainly capable of holding their own. So yeah, I'm with you, Josh. This game this game may not get to 30. So I definitely like the under there. My next one is going to be in Lawrence, Kansas, where the two Utes, are coming down from Utah, take on the Jayhawks. This one's real simple. Utah has to win this game, and they have to win this game decisively if they have any hope at anything of significance in the postseason. They're still mathematically eligible, I believe, for the Big 12 championship game. A lot has to happen for them to get in, but it's still on the table. And, this team started out really strong on the defensive side at the beginning of the year, and it is just the wheels have kind of fallen off really for both of them. Kansas really never that strong on defense to start with. But, dude, both these teams now are outside the top 100 in rushing defense. It's crazy, especially with the advantage that Utah has over most teams at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So the fact that they can't stop the run, but that's not Kansas's strength. Everything runs through their quarterback. And that's not a good recipe, even at home against this Utah team. Kansas has lost 4 of their last 5. And, Josh, their only win in that stretch was Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Who one of the local high schools in Knoxville could probably beat that team. So I think Utah is going to play some bully ball. I think they're going to impose their will on this Kansas defensive front. I just think they just pound the hell out of them. Like it's an old, it's an old MMA fight where it's ground and pound, take them down and just beat the hell out of them. I just think that's what this is going to turn into. So I'm taking Utah, and that big fat 11 is where I got it. I don't know where it is now. It's 11.5. So feel all right with that. I don't really have a thought on the total. I would probably lean under because I feel like it's going to be a lot of running in this game. At 60.5, it's pretty steep, but I don't have an official play on that. So don't say hammer said because I ain't. That's just kind of a lean if I had to guess just based on how I feel this game's going to go. But give me Utah minus 11, minus 11.5 against Kansas. All right, Josh, what else you got for Friday?
Yeah, this next game, it's probably my biggest play Friday. So we're going to Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I don't know if I've said this before. Brent Key sucks most of the time as a favorite, but his money is an underdog. So I'm on Georgia Tech in this one against Georgia plus 14. If you can get it at 14.5, great. But I like it at 14. So Georgia Tech coming off emotional loss against Pittsburgh. Could have gone to the ACC championship game, but they lost. And probably the best defense they faced all season in Pitt. So they're coming this week against a Georgia team that their defense has not been good as it has been in the past few seasons. It has been ass most of the time this season, but has played good the past few weeks. But I like Georgia Tech catching 14 in this game, and I feel like Georgia probably wins a one possession game in this game. So I played Georgia Tech plus the 14 against Georgia at home, well, at Mercedes-Benz Dome. So, yeah, give me Haynes King plus the 14, and I got some Georgia Tech money line as well.
Well, here we are again. Clean old-fashioned hate's what they call this game.
Yep, plain old-fashioned hate.
And I think we've got two teams that are going in complete opposite directions. I'm going to give you a number, Josh, you're not going to like.
All right.
Since week 9, Georgia Tech has been outside of the top 100 in just about every defensive stat ranking. And they're outside the top 115 in the majority of those. So they play two kinds of defense, little and none.
Yep.
And I know Georgia's defense hasn't been up to that standard that we've come to hate from Kirby Smart, but it's good enough. And everything that Georgia Tech was playing for last week got taken away from them.
Yep.
So it's going to be even with this rivalry game. I feel like that was so gutting of a loss last week to Pitt. And I just don't see Georgia Tech mustering up the intestinal fortitude to slow down this Georgia offense. And even though it is technically a home game for Georgia Tech, Georgia's no stranger to that building.
Yep.
And they've played well in that building. So I don't see any advantage here for Georgia Tech. I don't see them slowing down this offense in any way, shape, or form. And this is one of those spots where I think Kirby will kind of make a statement. So I'm taking Georgia to cover and win big against the Ramblin' Wreck on Saturday.
All right.
Excuse me, on Friday. This is weird. It's a Friday game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right. Still got some action on Friday. You got any piece of anything else?
Yeah, I got 2 more games.
Okay, good. So do I.
First one we're going to Indiana versus Purdue Friday, 7:30 kickoff. Indiana laying 28.5 in this game. Over under set at 53.5. And I like Indiana in this one. The last 2 games, they've kind of had some close games against Wisconsin, Penn State, and I feel like they put belt to ass this week against Purdue. Indiana may score 50 points in this game because Kurt Signetti is pissed off from having close wins against Wisconsin and Penn State, and he wants to put a showing on the Purdue Boilermakers. And I feel bad for little old Purdue because Kurt Signetti could probably name his score in this game. So I like Indiana minus 28.5 against Purdue.
Yeah, no play for me in this one, but I would tend to agree. I've seen a couple sharp people taking Purdue and the points in this one, and I'm kind of scratching my head. I feel like this is the time for him to lay the hammer down, and for whatever reason they haven't the last couple of weeks, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree. I think this is a spot they get after it early and often. Man, Tennessee cannot get a shot to fall.
no, they can't.
Up 3, a little under 9 minutes to go. Okay. Thought he was about
What's
to
your
hit
next
another.
play, Hammer?
It's a good question. Sorry, I got a little caught up in the basketball game there.
No, you're good.
Next one. Excuse me. It's going to be Colorado State and Air Force. My God, are both these teams terrible? No other reason than I feel like the home team in this rivalry game is probably going to win. And Colorado State has been terrible just about all year. Air Force showed some signs of life from time to time, but I think collectively it's just these are just 2 bad football teams. So I just like Colorado State. I've taken them a couple of times this year. as underdogs on the money line, and it hadn't worked out. So I'm hoping third time's a charm. I don't advise anybody to play this. That's just what I'm doing. Just feel like at home against their rivals, with neither one of them having anything to play for. I just like Colorado State in this spot. Excuse me. So Colorado State money line against Air Force. All right, Josh, you got one more on Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to Tempe, Arizona, late game in this one Friday. Arizona taking on Arizona State. I have an Arizona State future over 8.5 win bet, and they're looking to get win 9 in this one. I like Arizona in this one, and I'm going to hedge on my win total ticket bet. So I feel like Arizona has the better quarterback in this game with Noah Fafita, given that Sam Levitt is hurt and Ari is going to transfer and stuff like that. And I feel like Blake Sims, ever since he's came in and relieved Sam Levitt, he's played really pretty good football. And I'm going to take my chances on this, and I feel like that Blake Sims finally comes crashing down and has a bad game in this one. So I played Arizona -1.5 in this one at Arizona State. I just feel like Blake Sims has an awful game, and Noah Fafita and company take care of this one. So yeah, give me the Wildcats.
All right. My last one is going to be North Texas taking on Temple. Temple was one of my preseason plays to go over their win total. Temple was at 3.5. Temple's won 5 games this year and have played some better competition fairly well. However, this will not be the case in this game. North Texas is in a 3-way tie, with Navy and Tulane in the American. Now, Navy's going to play Thursday and get their ass beat by Memphis, okay? So that's going to leave North Texas tied with Tulane for first in the American. They have to blow out Temple. They have to. The line's 20.5, somewhere in that neighborhood. North Texas has scored 50-plus in 4 of their 5 previous games. And Temple just got the doors torched off them against Tulane and East Carolina past couple weeks. And, man, I'm telling you, this North Texas offense is better than both Tulane and East Carolina's. So multiple plays here for me in this game. I like North Texas to cover. I got it at 20. Let me see the latest and greatest. I don't think it's going to matter. It's 19.5. I'm good. I'm fine with that. I also like North Texas to cover first half -10.5. I think they get out the gate quick. I think they can put up multiple scores on Temple and basically kind of shut them down until they probably start rotating some depth into the game. And I also like the over in the first half at 33.5 points, the majority of which I feel like North Texas is going to score. The over-under on this game is 65.5, and I feel like that North Texas is going to start quick and then probably not let off the gas until probably good ways into the second half. So both plays in the first half, and then North Texas to cover 19.5, 20, whatever numbers out there. I don't think it matters. Mean Green is going to roll the Owls. All right. Well, I think that gets us through Friday. So what are you looking at on Saturday's card?
Yeah, well, let's start off with the big game Saturday. The game, Ohio State versus Michigan. Ohio State laying 10 at Michigan, over under set at 43.5. And I've been hearing this week people are saying this game really doesn't matter. Why is
Why?
Ohio State motivated to win this game? Yeah, some people have said that. And I'm like, Ohio State has not beat Michigan, Hammer. Has it been 5 or 6 years?
I know it's been 4. It could be longer.
I want to say it's been 5 or 6. Yeah, but Ohio State needs to win this game against Michigan because if they do not beat Michigan, they are not going to the Big Ten championship game. So they got that going for them. And if they beat Michigan, they'll break the streak. So Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith have set off the last 2 games, really non-meaningful games against UCLA and Rutgers. And they're back Saturday against Michigan. I laid it with Ohio State in this game against Michigan, -10. I don't care, -10.5. I'm going to play some alt lines all the way up to 17.5 in this one. I feel like they just curb stomp Michigan in this game. So I laid it with Ohio State -10 up to -17.5.
Yeah, they've lost the last 4. Last time they beat them was in 2019.
Okay.
So everybody thought, oh, well, Harbaugh's gone. They'll get them last year. And boy, did they just flat lay an egg.
Yeah.
Crap, we're tied 62. It's a little over 7 minutes. Come on, boys. Got to get this one. Not an official play for me, but I'll probably end up taking this. I 100% agree everything you just said. I'm hearing some people saying Michigan's live in this game, and in years past, they certainly have been, and I can understand some of the recency bias in that. Not this Ohio State team, not this defense. I don't care what happens on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know how Michigan scores in this game. I could easily see them. I think Michigan's team total is 10.5. I would take under.
Yeah.
They may get 10 points. Maybe get 10 points in this game, and I just feel like that. Regardless of what else happens, probably under as well for the game.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Ohio State does on offense, it'll be enough to beat Michigan. So, no way. I see no shot, no chance for Michigan to beat Ohio State this year. It's over.
It's 16.5, Michigan's team total.
16.5. I'd definitely take the under on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard somebody say something that they would play it at 10.5. I don't know. But yeah, it's. I don't see them getting 17.
Because
I really don't see them getting 10. They may get 13, but they ain't getting much more than that.
I know he's a freshman and he's probably going to have a few good years in the next few years, but I don't think Bryce Underwear is going to score 20 points this Saturday against Ohio State.
No. He's good. He's been fun to watch, and he'll be a star for sure, but not Saturday. That ain't the day that it happens.
Kansas goes up 68-64 with 5:01 left. All right, Hammer, what you got next?
Come on, boys. Pull this thing out. Oh, let's see. How about Houston Baylor? Total set at 59.5, something like that. Let's see. I hate some of these. I put them in so early. 59.5. I like the over in this game. Baylor is kind of they're kind of a funky team this year. They basically have one of the more potent pass heavy offenses in college football, and they pair that with one of the most generous defenses in college football. And I know Houston hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire here lately, but they have potential, and I think they play to the level of their competition. With this game being at Baylor and the fact that I don't know how deep this rivalry goes, but in-state rivalries, of course, in Texas, in-state rivalries can damn near be cross-country. So, but I feel like the combination of Baylor wanting to throw the ball all over the field and their defense bleeding points, I think the over's the play here. I think we might even break 70 in this game. So I'm just going to kind of take a stab with over 59.5 with Houston and Baylor. All right, Josh, what's up next for you?
All right, we're going to go to the 3:30 slate. So next game on my radar, I like Arkansas on Senior Day against Missouri, catching 3 at home. I just feel like Taylon Green and the Arkansas senior class is going to go out with a bang and a win at home. And Mizzou has kind of been trending downwards on the second half of the season. And I just like this Arkansas team at home catching 3. And I feel like this Arkansas team rallies one final time at home and gets a big win against Missouri. So, yeah, Arkansas plus the 3 at home against Missouri.
All right. You got it +3. I'm showing FanDuel has it at 2.5 now.
Okay.
With a slight edge to Missouri, but that clearly tells me that they think this is a field goal game.
Yeah.
So yes, again, go back to like in a close match, close tight spread. I like the home team in a rivalry game. So I would agree with that play. And Arkansas, they haven't quit. They played hard in every game, so I feel like they'll definitely be up for this game. So
for sure,
I like it. My next play is going to be the. I always called it the Bourbon Bowl, but that was until the Bourbon Bowl surfaced in the Water Boys. I don't call it that anymore because people think I stole it. I'm old. I'm a hell of a lot older than that movie. Okay. So we got Kentucky and Louisville playing in game is in Louisville. And, let's just be honest, Josh. Both these teams are coming off of just a bad ass whipping last week.
Yep.
Vanderbilt absolutely hammered Kentucky, and Southern Methodist, who was only like a 2.5-point favorite in that game. And I talked about this last week. I said that line is way too low. And SMU's going to bring the belt with them, and boy, did they. So there are injuries on both these rosters. Across the board, like it's pretty bad. There's going to be people in the stands of fans of both these teams are going to be going, who the hell is that guy? Who's number whatever? Dude, they're going to have to go deep onto their roster in this game. And the big miss is Miller Moss, right? For Louisville, he's out. Their star wide receiver, Chris Bell, he's out. And also their top 3 running backs are out. So I don't know who the hell Louisville's going to have on offense.
Yeah.
but Kentucky's got a slew of injuries as well. I think a few more on the defensive side, although they do have some issues in the wide receiver room as well. Anyway, you throw all this in a pot, shake it up, dump it out, and you come out with an under 46.5. I don't see very many points in this game at all. And even with some injuries, I feel like Kentucky's still defense is good enough to stay in this game with Louisville. I don't care for a side either way. They can both kiss my ass. I don't like either one of them. But I definitely think there's some value there on this total. And, man, I don't even know if this game gets out of the 30s, to be honest. I might alt this or ladder this, down to maybe 39.5, 40.5, something like that. That would definitely be a spot to consider doing that, because this is two MASH units getting together to have a war of attrition, I guess, because that's what it's going to come down to. All right, what you got up next?
Yeah, in the next one, we are going to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We got Troy taking on Southern Miss. A big game for both teams. Winner of this game goes to the Sun Belt Championship to take on likely James Madison. So I played Southern Miss to win the Sun Belt 10-1 before the season started, and they have been going down, trending down. Lost the last two games. And I'm going to take Troy in this one plus the 7. I feel like Southern Miss wins, but I think this game is a one-score game at the end. And I took Troy plus the 7, and I just do not like the way Braylon Braxton and company have been playing the last few games. Given that Braxton did not play the first to last game they lost, came back last week, looked okay, and I just like Troy in this one plus the 7, but I think Southern Miss finds a way to win a close game against Troy.
Yeah, I think you're dead on it. Yeah, you and I both liked Southern Miss. I've been playing them all year.
Yeah,
and I think one week I even said the best quarterback you've never heard of is at Southern Miss, and not been the case the past couple of weeks. But I do agree. I think with that championship game appearance on the line, I think they find a way to dig in and win this game. Probably be all for naught, because James Madison's probably going to steamroll them. But
yeah,
the fact that they, have the chance to get there and you have a chance to cash a ticket, I'm all for it, man. So,
right.
So I'm with you. Hopefully they find a way to win that one. I'm staying off of it. I don't care for the line. And
Yeah,
Troy's been sneaky this year.
they have been.
So I just don't trust Southern Miss based on what I've seen recently. My next one, finally going to get to the 3:30 slate. It's going to be, we're going to go down to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, where UTSA and Army are going to get together. Dang it, I meant to look this up, so let me do that real quick before I say something. That's not, I know they're playing Army. That's not what I was looking for. All right. So UTSA joined the American in 2022. Josh, do you realize that they are undefeated at home since they joined the AAC?
Undefeated at home since they joined the AAC.
Yep. They have
Wow.
not lost in the Alamo Dome since they joined the conference.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah. So, and right now, Owen McCowan, their quarterback,
Yeah,
man, he's playing lights out,
he is.
and he can light up. He can light up the scoreboard, and
Yep.
I feel like that's kind of going to be the case in this game. UTSA's rush defense is pretty good. It's about middle of the pack,
Yep.
but I think it's good enough to keep Army in check. I don't think Army's defense can slow down this UTSA offense. And the fact that Army was up double digits going into the fourth quarter against Tulsa last week and lost. So they're coming off a gut punch. I feel like the Black Knights can shake off a loss like that probably better than the average college student, because that's what they're trained to do, is thrive in adversity and overcome. So I don't necessarily know that it was so demoralizing that they can't get up or be ready for this game, but they're just outmatched, pure and
Yeah.
simple. And the spread's 6.5. It may be up to 7 or 7.5. I got it at 6.5 because I'm like, oh, anything under a touchdown, I'm all for it. Let me check to see. It is 7.5 now, and actually Army's got a little bit of juice to cover that 7.5. So do what you will with that. I'm always big on buying points or half points to get the number where I want it. You can throw it in a teaser. You can play it in a parlay and buy it down. I think you can buy it down to like -5.5 or -150, and then throw that in with a money line for probably +220, something like that. So it's still playable. You just have to get creative with it. But I just honestly, dude, I think UTSA wins this game by double digits. So give me UTSA. I got 6.5. Play with it, get it where you want it. But I think that's the side to be on. They're UTSA's cooking, and they're not going to lose at home. They've proven that in the last 3 or 4 years. They're not
Yeah.
losing down there. So, all right, what else you got?
All right.
Saturday.
Last game I'm on for the 3:30 slate. So we're going to Seattle, Washington. Oregon taking on Washington. Oregon favored by 7 in this game. And over under set at 50.5. I like two plays in this game, actually. I like Washington catching 7 at home, and I like the over 50.5 in this game. I just feel like both offenses are going to trade blows in this one, light up the scoreboard. And not a knock on both defenses. Both defenses have been solid this season, but both offenses are just stellar in this one. So that's why I played over the 50.5. And Washington plus the 7. I just feel like this is another one score game that the road team is going to win. And that's why it's so important to have a touchdown in your pocket with the home underdog. So, and Damon Williams has been really good this year at home. And from what I see on the injury report right now, it looks like Denzel Boston is a full go for Washington. So, yeah, Washington plus the 7 against Oregon at home and over 50.5.
Okay. Yep. I like it. I also agree. I'm on Washington in the points. I did put it in a teaser, so I've got it at a nice shiny +13. Excuse me. But I definitely like Washington's chances in this game to not only cover. I think they've got a shot to win this thing outright, because they're playing and have played really good football all season, and I think they've flown under the radar a little bit. Not a lot of people talked about them. It's a good football team. So I definitely like where you are with that one. I've got 2 more for Saturday. So if you have anything after after that, then you take the floor.
All right.
I've got going to Conway, South Carolina. That's the home of Coastal Carolina, and the pretty teal turf they've got out there, or whatever color they call it. Well, they're welcoming the Dukes from James Madison. I like the total in this game, 53.5. And, Coastal's just, it's the last game on their schedule. Now, for James Madison, they're looking at a potential college football playoff berth at stake. So I feel like that the Dukes are going to come out and not overlook this team by any stretch, and they're going to give they're going to give their all to come out of there with a huge win. The reason I like the totals, Coastal has given up a total of 96 points in their last two games. And this James Madison defense is stellar. Like, they are stifling. They're really tough to run on. They're well coached, disciplined. And I just think that Coastal is going to kind of mail this in. They certainly haven't played any defense the last 2 weeks, and I don't feel like they're going to be able to slow down this JMU offense. So I'm taking over 53.5. No play in the on the side, but there's no way I consider Coastal in this game in any way, shape, or form. Give me the Dukes to light up that scoreboard. And then my last play for Saturday, going to the Iron Bowl for the Bammers and Auburn. Everything on paper kind of points to Alabama should win this game easily. And we've seen over the years that a little bit of everything can happen in this game. It's a house of horrors for Alabama. Doesn't matter what the records are. Doesn't mean anything. What the rankings are, throw it all out, because these two teams hate each other. I think Auburn, the only chance they have to win in this game is they've got to slow the pace. They've got to slow the game down and not let Ty Simpson and Bama's offense get rolling. Because if they do, it's going to be a long day for Auburn. I feel like this defense is good enough to disrupt Ty Simpson's timing and his, comfortability back in the pocket. But here's the other thing. Auburn can not only win the Iron Bowl, they can knock Bama out of the CFP because Bama has 2 losses. A third loss would eliminate them altogether because, everybody clearly is trying to get Texas in as a 3-loss team. So that leaves Alabama out. But not only that, Josh, if Auburn wins this game, they knock Bama out of the SEC championship game as well.
Yeah.
So while Auburn stands to win virtually nothing, it's not what they can win, it's what they can take away from Alabama.
And Auburn becomes bowl eligible to win as well.
That's exactly right. I've already cashed my under 7.5 wins on on Auburn this year. So I have no reason to not pull for Auburn. This is Auburn's bowl game. If they don't win this game, they don't get one, right? So they're looking at this. This is our bowl game.
Yeah.
And we can take all this stuff away from Alabama if we win. I like the under 48.5. For that to happen, of course, everything I just said has to come to fruition. Auburn has to slow the game down. They've got to disrupt Ty Simpson. They can't let Alabama's offense get rolling. So if they do all that, I think this game stays under. This game opened at 5.5. Sorry. It opened at 5.5, and that told me everything that I needed to know about this game. That is the rattiest line, is 5.5. That tells me that the books are baiting you, wanting you to bet Alabama. So I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'm saying to hell with the points. I'm taking under 48.5, and I'm taking Auburn money line to win this game outright and sink all of Bama's hopes and dreams for the postseason. And man, I hope they do it. I hope they give them a big old shit burger to eat in this game and just crush the hearts and souls of the Gumps. So that's it for me. I do have a couple more NFL plays I'll get to, but Josh.
Well, we got one. We got one more big game, Hammer. Before I get to my 2 points.
Yeah.
Tennessee Vandy game.
Yeah, it's my very last.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
So I'm just saying, anything else? That's always the dessert.
So I have 2 more plays left on my college card before we get to Tennessee and Vandy and the NFL games you have left. So I'm going to the Iron Bowl, Alabama-Auburn. Alabama favored by 6 in this one against Auburn, and I'm like you. I like the under in this game, under 46.5. So if Auburn wants a chance to beat Alabama, they got to slow the pace of this game down. Can't let Alabama go up and down the field on them, score points. Auburn has to make this like a 17-14, maybe 2017 game. So that's why I played under 46.5 in this one. And I like the under 46.5 in Alabama, Auburn. My next and last play on the college card is we are going to Cal Berkeley, SMU in California. So Justin Wilcox, former VFL, got fired this week by Cal. So I like the coach bump in this game. I like Cal catching 13.5 against SMU at home in this game. Cal's quarterback is really good, who I cannot pronounce the name nor we'll try to say his name.
Yeah, same here. I'm not going to try it.
I just feel like that is too many points for SMU to be laying on the road. And I like SMU, or not SMU to cover, but Cal to cover the plus 13.5. And I also have some Cal money line in this game. So, yeah, give me Cal plus 13.5 against SMU at home.
All right. Yeah, SMU came through big last week. But that's a lot of points, especially on the road.
Yeah.
West Coast. Is that a late kick? Is that like a 10 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, 10 or 10:30 kickoff.
Yeah. So that's a late kick, which it's only a couple hours difference with for SMU, but still, that's a lot of that's awful late for them to be starting a game. So
yeah,
a lot of things there point to Cal covering that number. I meant to throw this out on the Friday, and I missed it. Friday's NFL game, we've got the Bears and the Eagles. I like the Bears here getting 7 against Philly. I don't know what – I don't think that was so much Dallas's defense as I think there's a problem with Philly's offense. It's been literally broken at times this year. And Chicago somehow, some way – has already exceeded their win total for the season. And I guess it's the Ben Johnson effect. I mean, Eberflus couldn't coach his way out of a wet paper bag. So he's much better as a DC than he is a head coach for certain. But whatever Ben Johnson's cooking with, it's working. So I like the Bears plus the 7 against the Eagles. Then on Sunday, love Seattle. They're laying 12. That's a lot of points against Minnesota. But it looks like that Minnesota is going to start a third-string rookie quarterback. Forget the kid's name. He's from Minnesota. Anyway, this game is in Seattle. They are going to absolutely feast on this team. I feel bad for this kid. He's probably going to be on the ground more than he's upright. And I don't see Minnesota having any kind of resistance against this Seattle team in Seattle. So love the Seahawks. And then I also like Pittsburgh on the money line against Buffalo. They're 3-point dogs at home. Buffalo's defense can't stop the run. And that spells trouble for what Pittsburgh is going to throw at them with Warren and Gainwell. Plus, it looks like Aaron Rodgers is probably going to tough it out and play. Should see DK Metcalf in this game. So something's wrong with the Bills, man. And defensively, they're really struggling, and they don't have a true one wide receiver. It's been Dalton Kincaid and a random, wide receiver with 5 catches and 50 yards. Like that's the only way they're doing it. As Pittsburgh defense isn't as vaunted as it was last year, certainly. But I think it's still good enough to frustrate Josh Allen and keep this offense kind of in check. So I do like Pittsburgh on the money line against the Bills. And then throughout 6 total NFL games, right? I also have all these in one teaser. Packers, Chiefs, Cincinnati, Baltimore over, Chicago to cover against the Eagles, Seattle to absolutely decimate Minnesota, and then Pittsburgh, moneyline Buffalo. So put those all in a 6-point, 6-leg teaser, and a $10 play will win you 55. So I love these plays on the NFL slate this weekend. So there you go. Anything else, Josh, before we talk about the most important rivalry game?
I'm ready to talk about the big game Saturday.
Well, you go right ahead, my friend.
All right, I'm going to lead it off. Tennessee taking on Vandy. And Tennessee wins this game, they keep Vandy out of the playoffs. But if Vandy wins this game, they possibly could go to the playoffs. They may need some help. But let's make sure they don't get in the playoffs. I want to beat those bastards. I really hate them. And they act like this rivalry means something because they've won over the past few years when Butch Jones was our coach, Dooley was our coach, and Jeremy Pruitt was our coach. Well, I got news for you, Vandy fans. Guess what? You are winless against Josh Heupel, and you are going to stay that way after Saturday. I know you have Diego Pavia on your team, and Tennessee is about to send Diego Pavia and his mom back wherever they came from. I like Tennessee in this game minus the 3. I like the over 66 or 65 and a half in this game. I feel like both defenses are going to give up some points in this game, but I like the Vols to get it done when it matters most come fourth quarter. So give me Tennessee minus 3 and the over 65 and a half, and sending Vandy back to Nashville with an L.
Love it. So, beginning of the season, after that little pygmy Chewbacca quarterback shot his mouth off on that podcast with Bussing with the boys. I put out a little short response. Not that anybody cared. I'm sure he didn't. But I will tip my hat to you, Peabody. You exceeded everybody's expectations. Certainly exceeded mine. Cleared that win total pretty early on in the season. So congratulations on all that. Got some big wins against some teams that nobody gave you a chance against. Lost a couple games to teams that we knew would probably give you problems. But here's your biggest problem right now. See, your little half a quarterback went and shot his mouth off back in over the summer. And that was a time when we didn't really know what we were going to get with our offense. We were told that we didn't have any depth in the wide receiver room, that it was all a bunch of young guys and Chris Brazzell. We were told that we're losing Dylan Sampson, who was a large portion of our offense last year, and it was going to be tough to replicate that production, even with the three guys we have in the running back room. And then the volleyball player, gone. We get this kid named Joey Aguilar, basically in what I've referred to as the first official trade in college football. He's got about 15 minutes and a long lunch to learn the playbook. And then you go running your mouth about how Peabody runs the state of Tennessee in football. And that Peabody is the new staple of college football, where the standard is championships. Well, I think you're full of shit. And I said this then, I'm going to say it again tonight. The only thing that you're going to run in the state of Tennessee is the wrong end of an ass whipping. If you ever, Vanderbilt fan, wanted to be the villain, jealous of Big Brother because everybody hates us, well, I got news for you, buddy. Everybody, the entire country, wants to see Tennessee put belt to ass against you on Saturday. I want to see it so badly, I'm going to come up there and see it happen live. Their defense is good. Diego Poverty has time and time again kind of willed his team to win and found ways to win, and he's on the Heisman ballot. Congratulations. Somebody at Vanderbilt finally cared enough about football to pour some money in, and you went and bought this little bastard. Congrats. But now you got all that talk, all that mouth running you did. Now it's time to pay the piper. The check has come due. Now you have to come to Neyland. And you have to back it up. Our defense has been bend, not break, bend, and broke. I've maintained, I said this again to somebody today, the only game we just flat got beat in this year was Alabama. We had the game against Georgia. I'm not trying to throw Max under the bus, but a made field goal in that game, we win. Had we just been able to contain Mateer a little bit better against Oklahoma, we pretty much controlled the first half of that game. and we let it slip away from us in the second half. Kudos to Oklahoma. They're a damn good football team, and they deserve to be in the playoff. Our defense can find enough to slow down this Vanderbilt attack. I think our offense can generate enough plays. We can get enough big plays, splash plays, to play ahead of the sticks, to play ahead on the scoreboard, and hold this little midget at bay to close it out. I kind of like the under, but we have to win this game, right? This is a must-win game for us. We had to beat Florida last week. We went down there, took care of business. Now we have to do the same thing at home on senior day against the Nerds. So give me Tennessee. I've got 2.5. Josh had 3. I'm leaning the under, and I hope, pray, beg that we just drop a big 50 burger on them and send these pricks back to the West End toting the biggest L, because they'll be so gutted to lose this game and have everything taken away from them by Big Brother. Fuck them. Give me the Vols. Josh, you got anything else?
No, that's all I got, man. Hope you and yours have a great, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, brother, and to everybody that tuned in, joined us. Thank you so much. Disappointed that our boys couldn't finish Kansas off, but that's a lot of basketball in a short amount of time against some really top-ranked talent, and I think that win over Houston. If I had to say you're going to lose to either Kansas or Houston, who you want it to be, give me Kansas, because I wanted that Houston game. So I'm glad they got that. And it's great for them to play this level of competition this early too. Get ready for SEC play in their Final Four run. But thank you everyone for all season. I know a lot of you have been here since day one, or week 1 or week 2. I've met a lot of cool people, chatted with some folks, behind the scenes, and it's been a blast. And Josh, honestly, man, you and Luce, there's nobody I'd rather do this with, and I look forward to more of the same in the future. But
yeah, I do too.
Again, thank you everyone that's supported us, that's commented, that's liked, that's been there with us. We really, really do appreciate it. It means the world to me, and I know Josh as well. Because like I said, I would much rather lose a bet my own money than give you a bad play. So really put a lot of effort into this, and I know Josh does as well. So, but thank you so much. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Be sure to hug your loved ones and tell them you love them, because we're not promised tomorrow. So cherish the opportunity you get to spend time with friends, family, and people you care about. And a lot of great football we're going to get to see this weekend. I hope everybody has a chance to enjoy it. Josh, we will be back next week, if nothing else, to wrap up, talk a little bit about what's to come. Hopefully we've got some insight on what our conference championship plays are going to look like.
Yep.
And we'll just keep the train rolling. We may be talking about betting on, Indian dick wrestling or something, but we'll find something. We'll find something to bet on and talk about. So, anyway, love y'all. Josh, love you, brother.
Love you guys. Love you, man.
And we will see you next week. Happy Turkey Day. It's pecan pie. Go Vols.
Yes. See you guys.